Hi there. Hi there. So we are going to start another live session with Abhinav. So yeah, we have already done our last live session 2 days back with Aditi. All right. So this session we are going to we have Abhinav Awasthi here, and he is software developer engineer at Zeta right now. He's doing as an intern, and before that he worked as software developer engineer at LinkedIn. So you might be all on LinkedIn. So if you are wondering something about LinkedIn, he's the right person to ask. And he also has 47K followers on the LinkedIn platform. So yeah, we have one influencer over here, and before that he also been DSA mentor. So yeah, so he's the right person you can reach out to ask related to codings and everything. So all right, so we have this session focused on open source towards making connections. So we will be having we will be getting a lot of insights from Abhinav regarding the open source contribution and how we can make a meaningful connection in this platform. Yeah. So I'm passing to Abhinav to start on. Yes, Abhinav, you can go ahead.
Uh, Hi Sanjay. First of all, thanks for inviting me for this session. Uh, as Sanjay introduced, my name is Abhinav and I'm currently working as SD intern at Zeta. I've previously worked with LinkedIn and Geeks for Geeks. I have a profile of a computer programmer. Apart from that, I have done some open source contributions too. Right. So today we'll discuss about a lot of things in this, webinar. How we can make connections, how networking and connections can help us, right, to grow in our career. So yeah.
So before heading to the session, I just want to give an introduction about Girl Script Summer of Code. If you don't have any idea, or if you're new to our Girl Script Summer of Code program, so this is like a 3 months open source program. Yeah, and I am one of the program manager for the Girl Script. So what we do is we have certain number of projects available. So as a contributor, you contribute to their projects and be part of the open source journey. And it's not just like being contribution. So we you can also have make connection during this particular 3 months period of time. And also we run different campaigns. You also get swags and perks being part of this program. So right now we are running a campaign with XYZ domain, where you just be part of that campaigns, then you get 100 domains free. So I'll be sharing the link later over here. So similarly, we are sponsoring with different companies, and we will be promoting this campaign to keep you engaged and keep you motivated during the entire journey of open source. Yeah, saying that, we have 205 projects, which is like a massive number of projects which we received this time. And to be honest, we have more than 20,000 people who has registered as contributors. So that's something very big over there. And we are really excited how the things is going to be, and we are excited to see who is on be on the leaderboard this time. And of course, yeah, not just the end leaderboard award, we will be also focusing on giving you weekly or monthly leaderboard rewards as a perks or swags for you. All right, saying that, that's a brief about open source, and we have a live tomorrow. Our event will be on live from tomorrow, and before that we have a live session where we will teach you how to do a basic open source if you are a complete beginner. So that live session would be useful for you. All right. Now back to Abhinav. So I just have a couple of questions with me regarding um, how you can give your insight to the audience. So the first one is like, what initially sparked your interest in technology, and how did networking help you in your journey of being a software developer?
uh, right. So like interest in technologies from initial days itself. So when I was, in my 10th standard itself, there was a subject of, Java and all coding in my school times. So I started from there. I started, this coding journey was started at back in class 10th 11th itself. I started there and I slowly got interest in coding. What is this? What is Java? What is C++? I started doing some, solving some problems. I made some website that time, right? So that actually, so when you build something, right, so you sometimes get interest in that, right? So this is how I got some interest in coding and development, basically. uh, After that, when I joined college, and in my first year itself, I started making a lot of connections, because I believe that making a lot of connections help you a lot to get opportunities. Because obviously opportunities will not come to you, right? You have to search for them. You have to make connections. You have to make a relevant network which can actually help you get good connections, good opportunities. Good, it can be anything. It can be a hackathon, it can be an open source contribution where you can contribute, where you can participate, which actually helps you to put you in front of the audience and can help you to make community and networks. So this is how it was started back in my, mostly in my first year. I started my LinkedIn profile. I was very active on LinkedIn. I always used to post whatever I'm doing, whatever I was solving. I was doing DSA, I was doing a lot of things. I was posting that regularly on LinkedIn, because of which I also do got my GeekSoC first intern. So GeekSoC intern I got in my third semester of my college. That was my first intern during my college. That was also during my corrections only. So they saw my YouTube channel. They were saying, "Okay, Abhinav, you used to record videos of DSA. Can you teach with us?" Okay, I'm interested. So corrections and networking, I can say, are very important in a student life.
All right. So by saying that, as mentioned, the LinkedIn platform, if you are a student, trust me, LinkedIn is something really can help you. LinkedIn and GitHub, if you maintain a nice repository in GitHub and have a LinkedIn, it's like a resume for new generation. So normally companies won't look at your resume for more than 5 seconds. But if you have a LinkedIn and resume, GitHub, add that both links in your resume, that will really help you in terms of getting ahead of career. Am I right, Abhinav?
Right, exactly. I agree
All
with
right.
that.
By saying that, I'm linking the Abhinav's LinkedIn profile over there, so you can just keep following him. I really see. I Before selecting you as a speaker, I've been going through your LinkedIn profile. You've been a very active over there. You've been posting really amazing content for people to uh, which really motivates people to towards making community and connections. I was really impressed by it. So, so next question: can you walk us through your first open source contribution experience? Like, what challenges did you face, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, so my first experience with open source, what was with GSoC only. So I heard about, okay, what is this Gulfship Summer of Code. I got to know about that because there was a club in my college, and that was also a a development club type of thing. So I first explored that what is this open source, like because I was very new to this. I was doing coding previously, but I was very new to this. Okay, what is this Summer of Code? What are these programs? What are these hackathons? So in the first year, I got to know about, okay, there's a program called the Gulfship Summer of Code where you can actually contribute in real life, real world projects. That was my first exposure to the open source journey. But and that time, even I was not having much understanding of projects and development. So what I did at that time was I basically contributed with some documentation in the project. So guys, that also help you. It's not like, okay, if you are contributing in an open source project, it's not like that you have to always code, you have to always contribute with the help of some code or add some features. You can contribute in some other ways also. So sometimes projects want a good documentation, sometimes they want their code to add their comments. You can contribute in any multiple other ways also. If you even don't have much knowledge of tech stack or the technology or the coding, still you can contribute to the open source, right? So that is how my journey was also started back in like my first year. And then in my second year, I like and that also motivates you. Okay, if next time when this summer of code will come, I will now contribute more. So that actually motivates me also. Okay, okay, by the next time I will now learn more, I will code more, and I will learn some new technologies, right? So this is how my journey was started, and yeah, it went like that.
All right. So I have received few questions in the comment box saying that you still have not received the mail regarding the GSOC. We are still rolling out the mail. So if you still have some uh, Q&A regarding the session, you can just post it over here, so we can look into that later. Or mail related issues, you can mention it over here, so I can look into that later. All right. So by saying that, the third question for you is like, for a beginner, open source projects, it's definitely can be overwhelming. Like, maybe they might be thinking like, I can see the repository having a Python or something which I don't know, but how can I get started? So any tips for finding the right project to contribute to?
Yeah, so the very first thing is, obviously, if you're a very beginner, if you don't have much knowledge of tech stack, it can be any language. So it will be very difficult for you to start, right? But if you will, tackle that stage of your contribution, you will actually do well later, right? So for example, if you don't have much knowledge in a tech stack, you can, as I told previously also, you can contribute in many other ways. You can contribute by adding comments in the code. You can contribute by doing some documentation for the project. That also, matters a lot in case of open source, right? And like, for finding a good project, it's simply about, explore all the given projects, search for a projects of which you have some understanding, through which you can actually relate. For example, if you are, let's say, you have interest in, some ed tech, or if you have interest in, some trading side, if there's a project similar to that, you can search for it, because actually you have interest on that, right? Or if you, let's say, are familiar with a particular tech stack, it can be MERN stack, it can be Python, it can be Java, right? So search for projects of that particular tech stack, right? So the basic thing is, you will actually want to do something if you have interest in that, right? So first of all, you have to make some interest, you have to build some interest with the projects. So, sir, as you mentioned that we have more than 200 projects this time in right, in Gulf System of Code. So go through the projects, check how, how you can contribute to them, how you can actually add some, how you can actually resolve the issues, how you can actually add some more features on that project. Okay, and as I said, if you're a very beginner, it's not like that you have to actually implement a very complex feature in that project. That's not an open source. Open source is actually that you have to openly contribute to a project. It can be any skill, any relevant thing that you can actually contribute to it, right? So, and obviously, see, it's not like that. If you will actually contribute something which is, let's say, not relevant, okay, give a try now. If you're in first year, if you're in second year, if you're a beginner, and if someone is, saying you, okay, okay, Abhinav, why did you contribute? You don't know any Python. No one will say that. Okay, no one will say that. If you will do, people will actually appreciate. So start contributing. Maybe contribute from a very basic thing. Contribute. Start from a documentation. Start from comments. Start from very basic feature, a very basic Java code, a Python code. But the thing is, if you will not start, you cannot tackle that first step of, contributing. So that's a thing from my side.
All right. So I just saw one comment over here. I'm tagging it for you. From open source, can we earn some bounty? It's like some tricky questions so that everyone will have. So do you have any insight on that?
So, like, I think open source programs doesn't, directly offer any bounty. You will not directly get any, it's not a freelance thing. But obviously, if you will contribute, let me give you an example, right? There was one of my friend who used to do a lot of open source contribution, right? With not any, with the aim of getting some money or earning something from there. But actually, when he used to get a contribution, he got a call from a company where he contributed. He loved their project, and he hired him as an intern, right? He got well paid. So it's not like always, it's not a direct profit that you get from something. It's, there are a lot of indirect things that you get. See, I will tell you, okay, I have also participated in a hackathon. It was actually open source hackathon where I participated. I just created a project with no intention of getting an internship from there. But my first software internship at Xeon, if you see my LinkedIn profile, that I got through that contest only, right? So it's not like we will get a direct, earning. And in some cases, we actually get. It can be some specific hackathons or some specific programs where you can actually get some direct earnings. But indirectly, you will actually make good networks. If you will make good contributions, they will actually, award you with that. That's a part, Vinayak.
All right. And what about the sponsors thing on the GitHub? So that is also something similar to uh, getting some money through the
Yeah.
open source, right?
Exactly,
All
and
right.
as you mentioned, the perks and the swags that we get, that's always with us. So if you will contribute good, you will always get that swag. I always like. I have a lot, dozens of T-shirts that I have through. I have the T-shirts, right? So there are a lot of open source. You will not buy any T-shirt through your whole 4 years of college. I did the same. So if you will start contributing from the first year, there is no need to buy any clothes. So yeah, that's the thing. So there are a lot of things how you will indirectly get these bounties, you can say, or some awards. And it's not only about the financial award that you get. There's a lot of other things that you actually get, as you said, the sponsors and all. You get, like, for example, you can get multiple such things that is actually helpful for you. So that is something that you can get. As you mentioned, I
Uh,
guess the sponsor for this girl skip, we have the XYZ domain, right?
Yes. By saying that, we have couple of project admins ready to do some swags from their end. For example, if you are a contributor and you're just trying to contribute on their projects, they are ready to give you some swags like T-shirt and all other stuffs. So we are still deciding how they can contribute towards you, give to you, like in the form of mailing or something like that. So that's something interesting. So I hope you guys are excited for contributing to the GSoC. All right. But I think that what initially sparked your interest in technology and how did networking really help you? You already spoke about the networking on the LinkedIn. Maybe you can talk about what was the initial spark which led to the open source. Is somebody introduced you to open source? Open source, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm someone who doesn't comes from a very technical background. So in my close relatives or my family, no one is from that like technical domain. Most of them are into the business and the administration domain. So I was the one who stepped into this domain of technology, because I was having a lot of interest in that, as I mentioned. So then at that time, when you don't have actually some direct support, you have to actually look for some connections or some networking, where you can actually get some insights about the industry, some mentorship, some guidance from the people who are currently doing well in the industry. So with that aim, I started exploring about different opportunities, different events that used to happen that time in my first year. Just like this, there were a lot of different events. So I was very active in the first year. I was always I replaced my Instagram with LinkedIn. I was just every day scrolling LinkedIn to get more connections, to get connected with more people with my interest, or the people who I admire, right? For example, whom I am actually admiring. Okay, this is person, that is what I wanted to be. So this is how I started my networking journey. Not just LinkedIn, I did this everywhere. For example, I started on YouTube. So the aim of YouTube was not also the monetization, that I will get money from that. That's a secondary part. So the my motivation was to actually, I will start making some video. I will actually make some connections. People will watch me. They will connect with me. So I think currently, if you will see the current phase of this online, everything is online. We have social media. Interviews are going online. Hiring is going online. Even we are now doing work from home. I'm currently home. Okay, so I'm doing work from home. So in this phase, it's not like if you will not make networks, if you will not make people, if you will not connect with people of your interest, of similar interest, actually you will lack somewhere, right? It's not only about your college, it's not only about your friend circle, it's about making connections. Like, see, you can, by sitting here in Kanpur, I can make connection with person in Bangalore, with person in Australia, with person in USA, right? How? Because of this technology. So use that technology, not just to scroll memes. Use that to actually make good connections. Use that to actually get benefited from that. And how you can do that, it's a very basic thing. Put things out. Okay, what you are doing, just the reason I speak loudly. Similarly, show things loudly. Show things on your social media. Let's say if you're working on some project, it's a month stack project, post it on LinkedIn. People with the same interest will see it, will react to it. They will interact. Find some partners, your coding partners, whom with which you can code. You can make some projects that actually help a lot, right? And the programs like this Gulf Ship Summer of Code actually helps a lot, in networking and making connections. For example, if you're participating or you're contributing in a project, search for other people who are actually doing the same, who have the similar interest. Connect with them, because they have the same domain. So this actually helps you a lot in getting internship later phase, when you will actually search for good opportunities. This will actually help you a lot, right?
All right. By saying that, for people to network over here, I'm sharing mine and Abhinav's LinkedIn over here. So any doubts regarding to the relevant domain which we both are in, just reach out to us, follow us, or just follow the Girl Script Summer of Code page as well. All right. By saying that, I just want to check with you, like, did you face any challenge in your first open source program, or did you choose some kind of documentation related to things first and slowly started learning the coding and try to implement on that, or you directly went into some big repository and made some big changes?
Yeah, exactly. So see, it's let's discuss the second part. If you will do that, if you will say, okay, I will now contribute to the most complex project of Girls Who Summer of Code, maybe you will be very excited, but when you will enter a repository, na, that same excitement will convert to demotivation, because you will say, okay, I am not getting anything. You will make some changes, but which is not relevant for the project. So that is not the first step. You have to go, step by step. So the very basic thing is, first of all, find a relevant project that is suitable for you. As I said, that project can be something where you have interest. That project can be something whose tag is familiar to you. And we actually have some beginner level projects also. It's not like you open source only have complex or very advanced project. We do have beginner level projects also. So first of all, search for that projects. That's the very first thing. Secondly, again, when you are contributing in a project, let's say you are picking a issue, you are saying, okay, I will resolve this. Let's say you are adding some feature in that. It's simply like that. It's not like, okay, you will just open the code, commit it, you will just clone the repo and make the commit. It's not like that. You have to actually, first read the documentation, check actually what is required, and take tips from your mentors. It's not like, okay, you are the only one you will do. Take help from mentors, take help from seniors, take help from people who have actually done this before. And here again, networking comes. If you have good networks, you will actually find the people. So currently I have 47,000 connections, right? If I need any help, let's say if I have to apply for a XYZ company, I need referral, I will just go on my connections, I will search for that company. Thousands of people will come, I will just ask someone, they will give me referral. That's the power of connections. I don't have to revolve it. Okay, please give me referral. Please give me referral. I have my own connections there, right? That's should be your motivation to make connection, and and the same part again for contributing. You have to actually, that should be motivation. Okay, if I will start from small today, tomorrow I will make it big. That's the basic thing, right? So don't think I will directly push make a commit which will actually boom the whole open source community. No, that cannot be happen. You have to go step by step. So choose a repository, choose a project which is actually relevant for you, which you have interest in. Start with a very minor contribution. Discuss it with your friends, discuss it with your mentors, with your seniors. They will help you, right? They will help you with that. Read the documentation, read how actually people do. There are a lot of resources. The whole for now, the whole internet is full of resources. There are abundant resources present on internet. You will search for open source, there will be thousands of videos will come. Check out but wherever you want. Okay, so the thing is, if you have interest, but obviously you can't do that without interest. Okay, you can't do that without an interest. So first of all, make interest, search for a project of your relevant, search for a project of your tech stack, and then start contributing, right?
All right. I think that you can also add just one post for asking referral, or if you are like fired on the next day, you can just type on the LinkedIn like, okay, I'm looking for a job. Is there anybody who's to help me out? Out of 49,000 people, there would be at least one person coming up and help you, right? So that's something of
Exactly.
power of connections over here. So which you can only
Exactly.
achieve through open source, and that's how this particular live session is relevant to you, like open source and to connections, right? Now, let's pick one common question: how to learn in public in open source. I'm not sure what does that question mean. How many hours per week is to be invested in projects? If you're looking into GSoC perspective, it's up to you, because it's a competitive world, of course. Wherever you go, it's a competition. If you apply for a job, it's a competition. So basically, this is like a program where 20,000 plus people are coming in. So you have a leaderboard. So if you want to rank on the leaderboard, it's up to you how much time you want to spend on it. And of course, you don't see in a way that how much time you're spending on the particular program or particular repository. It's about how much learning curve you're making through making a pull request. So that would be like a I would say from my experience is like being a data analyst and data scientist. I would say that but these days learning from scratch each language is waste of time. The best thing is like go to a real time project. If you want to learn something about machine learning, go to a real time repository, try finding out their code, how they're doing it. If you have some suggestions, see how people are doing it. Do try to do on the real time world on the project. So your learning curve will be very higher. Now, by saying that, Abhinav, I have one question. Like for beginners, like open source project can be really overwhelming. So, any tips for finding a right project to contribute to? Because many people in the comment box are asking the same thing.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So as I told na ki the very first thing is to build your interest in that. So if you are actually having some good interest, if you're actually first of all like make your interest. Okay. Now once you have an interest, now search for a project which is more relevant, with your tech stack, or which is more relevant where you can actually contribute. And see guys, it's not like that there's no filter now. You will go to the website, you will just apply the filter. Okay, product of my interest and the process will come. No. Currently AI is not that much powerful. You have to actually explore the projects. You have to actually go check the projects, open the repo, check the documentation. Oh, is it worthy? Should I contribute in this? And then only you can find a project. So there's no such filter that I will say, okay, apply that filter. But yeah, if you will explore, you have to go through the projects, check for the beginner friendly projects, check for the projects where you have interest in, check for the projects where you have the similar tech stack, check for the projects which you wanted to build actually, right? From which actually, or maybe projects where your seniors are contributing. You can you can say, okay, sir, can I also contribute with you? Can I come with you? Just for the beginner. That is how you will learn. Now, when I started my first contribution, I also was a part of a team which was a contributor to a hackathon, right? So obviously, maybe cases you cannot just contribute alone. You need something with you, right? This is how you can do that.
All right. So I found a really good comment over here. Like from my experience, I bet you won't look at time once you get hooked into solving bug. It's pretty much true though.
Right,
uh,
right.
yeah. We can take one question from the comment. It's like, which language is necessary for contributing in open source? Abhinav, can you?
Yeah, there's no as such necessary language as said you Gaurav. Okay, it's completely based on what you know. Okay, and even if you're a very beginner, if you don't know how to code, you can contribute in some non-tech domains also. You can contribute documentation. You can contribute to comments. And there's no specific language, right? We have projects of different languages. We have MERN stack projects. We have ML projects. We have Python project. We have Java project. So whatever you have your interest in, if you have your interest in Android, do Android. Contribute in that. If you have interest in ML, do that. There is no specific language that is required for it, but yeah, you should know some basics of development. That's the only prerequisite.
All right. Like there were like many people asking the same question, so that's why I tagged it over here. So as Abhinav mentioned, like there is no technology specific to it. It's up to your interest. If you like UI UX design, you will be literally find a lot of repository related to it. So yeah, just try explore it. And for being saying that, we are running a campaign with XYZ domain where we are giving a giveaway challenge. I'm putting the link over here, so feel free to go and explore it. And we are giving a value worth $100 each, 100 domains to the winners. And winners will be announcing tomorrow's live session. So stay tuned to our LinkedIn Girl Script page for the updates. Now back to you, Abhinav. So you mentioned about building a strong community. So while building a strong, inclusive community around open source, we know it's the key. Like building a strong and inclusive community is like a key for the open source. So what strategy you have found successful in your journey of doing open source?
Right. So as I mentioned, key the very first thing is whatever you are doing, please do it openly. As the name suggests, open source. You have to actually share your achievements, share your contributions, whatever you are doing. Then only you can connect with your like-minded people, right? If you are someone who is, let's say, focusing more on machine learning, or you are focusing more on UI UX, so you have to find people similar to that. So post about that on different platforms. It can be Twitter, it can be LinkedIn, it can be something else. Try to connect with them. That's the very first thing, and the very key of networking is that only. Let's say if you are contributing in a project, right, and there are some fellow contributors which are actually contributing same project, connect with them. Ask them, okay, what are you actually trying to achieve? What I am actually trying to contribute. Connect with them, have a mutual conversation, right? Have a mutual talk. Yeah, how we can actually improve our contribution or our commit, right? That's the very first thing, and then only you can, for example, let's say you opt for a project in GSoC, right? And you started contributing. Okay, you will face a lot of first of all problems. It's not a smooth journey. You will face a problem. You will make a commit that will be rejected, right? You have to again make a commit. You have to again make some, challenges will come. The only way to tackle that, the only key way to make, good community is actually to connect with people. And sometimes people feel, okay, if I will have enough message, will he respond to me? क्या वो मुझे जवाब देगा? Will he respond to my message? It's fine, first DM Abhinav. If he will, it's great. If he will not, मेरा कुछ नहीं जा रहा है. Okay, nothing will be lose. If I will DM Abhinav, if he will respond, it's great. I will make a new connection, I will talk to him, he will solve my doubts. And if he will not respond, it's fine. That's just a try that I make. So don't get hesitate कि okay, should I message him, should I message someone, should I connect with someone, how is that person? If it is not, if he will not respond, it's fine. Maybe he's not interested, but if you're interested, you can actually, make a good connection. That's the very first thing. First of all, don't hesitate, create interest, make networks. That's the basic thing about networking, guys.
All right. So by saying that, I think I forgot to share you the giveaway challenge link. I'm sharing it that with you again. All right. So um, let's take one question from the thing. As you mentioned, like you've been part of the GSoC program before. So any tip for the contributor, like how to become a top contributor?
Yeah, so Deepak, see again the very basic thing. You have to be first of all consistent. There are 20,000 plus participants who are actually participating. So it's not gonna be easy. So the very first thing, you have to put your efforts. You have to actually put a lot of efforts in contributing. You have to put a lot of efforts in understanding the project, how you can actually add some good value in the project. So that's the very first thing. And I always say this consistency and regularity is the key. That's the basic key. Anything, it can be open source, it can be any other thing, it can be your college placements. If you are consistent, then you will be at the top. That's the very first thing. So be, first of all, understand your project where you are contributing, be consistent, be there, understand the the requirements. What are requirements? Do contribute. Okay, that's the only way how you can actually come up at the top of the list, right? So yeah.
All right. So you mentioned like networking is vital for career growth. So how participants in Girl Script Summer of Code and others can leverage the open source and get more connection in the tech industry?
Yeah, so like that's the same thing, right? If you're, let's say, so see, GSOC is actually itself a very huge community. You can see 20K plus people have participated, right? You must be in a group where 20K more people who have same like-minded will be there. That's a very great opportunity for you guys to first of all make connection. That's a very great opportunity, right? Simply, as I said, if you're contributing somewhere, do interact with others also. It's not like, okay, I'm the only one in the group, I will just focus on my work. No, if there's a group, go there, interact with other person, what they are doing, how they are doing, what if you are having some difficulty, ask them. If they are having some problem, they will ask to you. That is how you actually make connections. That is how you actually make good connections, right? So that's the basic key there, is that you have to actually invest time. You have to actually invest time on the right thing. You have to actually invest time on understanding more about the contribution, understanding more about the open source, understanding more about the GSOC, right? That is how you can actually leverage good connections. You can actually make good connections. And see, the your end goal is that only. Your end goal is that you want, why are you making connection, why are you participating in this open source, right? So that you can actually get some good support at the time when you need. That is why you are doing it now. You are participating in open source, so that if later you have some other opportunity, you can say, okay, I have, once I participated in GSOC and I contributed well, this was my contribution, and that will actually lead you to a better opportunity later. That is why we participate. No? We participate to understand, we participate to upskill, and we participate to network people, right? For example, if I'm a person, if I'm participating, if I'm going for a hackathon, why I'm going for it? Okay, price of the hackathon is a separate thing. Okay, learning is a separate thing. One thing is also to make connections, because there I will find people of of my domain who are maybe doing better with me, how I can learn from them, how I can understand what they are doing, right? So that's actually play a very important role while participating in anything, just like GSOC, right?
All right. By saying that, you can also follow the GSoC LinkedIn page where you can find a lot of similar kind of people who commenting on the or liking on the page, and you can even reach out to them. uh, Try to make a networking, and we also add you into the Discord group once you got the selection mail. So in the Discord group as well, there are like a lot of really good like-minded people over there. So try to network with each other. It's on you. So you have to decide whether you have to make a network, and you have to take an initiative to. It won't take much time. This is the time of automation. So I automate my LinkedIn to make connections. So you can also do the same way, finding the right tech people. Yeah, and for the people who keep commenting like they haven't got the email, so we have rolling out the emails in batches. So it might take a while to reach you, but definitely by tomorrow, you will be all will be getting their selection mail. And sorry about the delay, because you know that's like a huge amount of participants. All right. Now, this is like a very important question to you, Abhinav. Open source community can sometimes feel like dominated by particular demographic, but what advice do you have for those who might feel hesitant to participate? For example, when we launch the program, you might see a lot of people doing the leaderboard thing out of 20,000 people, but you might be confused like how you will be relevant to this program. So, can you take this particular question? Yeah.
Yeah. So see, first of all, there is no point for being hesitated. Ki, okay, should I participate in it or not? So as I said, now you are not losing anything. If you are participating in a program, you will actually learn something from it. So first of all, do participate as much as you can. Right? Be open to all of these type of programs because they will actually, at the last, they will make you something learn. Right? So don't hesitate. I- as you said, okay, there are some reasons where this is like I can understand that it's dominated by them, but again, see, it's not like if someone is doing better, uh, then you should not go that there, right? It's not like that. Okay, if I am, let's say, good in DSA, right? So it's not like okay, I will not make friends, who are more good than me in DSA. I will make them as friends because I want to learn them with them. So that's a part. If we know, okay, there are some people who are, let's say, more good at the open source, but you should also participate. There is no thing, if you will be at the even at the last of the table, that will not make any loss to you. You can be there, but you can actually learn a lot with all the people at the top. We always say you should not be good at the room, you should be best at the room. So best people in the room is always the bad person. So if there are actually people who are better than you in the room, that's actually a good thing. So don't hesitate. Please be open to all of the things. People also ask me, Abhinav, I'm in my first year, I don't know this, I don't know that, should I participate in open source? Why do not participate? At least for the experience it will go. Na? I have I have think of the same thing in my first year, I didn't got an internship in my second year. So I got first internship in my third semester itself, right? Why? Because I was open to all these challenges from the first year itself. I got multiple rejections, I got multiple, failures, multiple problems, difficulties. But because I actually tried, that helped me to get to a good level in the third semester. So if you even not try it, you will not gonna improve, right? So that's the main thing.
All right. So just addressing this question which we received, how many PRs should we open day during 3 months to maintain good repository? And again, as I mentioned it before, it's like a competition program. So you have to decide, you have to see the leaderboard every week or every day, because we update the leaderboard twice in one day, and you can see who is ranking and what repository they are contributing to, what level of difficulty PR they are contributing to. I will. So it's up to you, and you have to see how much contribution you have to make to get ahead of the leaderboard. As of 20,000 people joined, we don't know how willingly people are ready to do contribution in a day. Maybe some people can do 20 PR, but also be mindful. We also look at the quality of the PR. So if you just in sake of getting the leaderboard, you just do the PR without any quality code, we won't give you score. We will also mark it as a spam. So it's automatic. So we can't help on that. So just be mindful about doing a great contribution. Now, looking ahead, what trends do you see shaping the future technology? How can we keep ourselves updated? So this is an era where like ChatGPT came and a lot of AI language came. Uh, you know, programming became much more easy. With example, for example, in case of GitHub, we have Copilot, which is much more efficient to use and much more efficient to build the code. So, what kind of trend do you see in the future?
Yeah, exactly. So I do also have, face this thing, and I do have, some. So the basic thing is, there are a lot of these new technologies that will come. Currently, AI is booming, machine learning is booming, right? So the main thing is that you have to also grow with the market, how the market is going. So if the market is currently asking for good machine learning engineers, you have to also go for that. And see, obviously, as you said, because of these tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, now that basic coding is something that become very easy. You can just go to ChatGPT, ask, okay, please write a code for me. It will write to you. Okay, so actually, you have to make yourself that much skilled that you can actually, it's not. This is not the era that if you just learn the very simple HTML, CSS, you can get a job. It's actually very, very difficult in this era, right? Because that same thing can be done by a person who even don't know how to code. It will go to ChatGPT and will get the code, right? The simple CSS anyone can write nowadays. You have to actually upskill yourself in such a way that you can actually stand, have a better stand amongst all other people. So it's all about, it's all about the competition that is currently going on in the industry. You have to compete with a lot of people. You have to, you should have something on the top of your resume that actually makes your resume better than others. That can be anything. That can be actually the knowledge of the current boom in this industry. That can be some ML project. That can be some open source contribution of ML, AI, ML, right? So that's the thing. If you will go with the, you know, if you'll actually go with the trend, if you'll actually go with the current scenario of market, you will grow with it. And that's what happens if you will, uh, if you will do PHP in current phase where Java and Node.js and Python are, booming. There's no sense for it because there's very less hiring for PHP. You can't go that. Okay, if you will just learn JavaScript and CSS nowadays, you will not get hired. Because why? We have Next.js nowadays. We have better options like Tailwind. We have TypeScript. We have MERN stack. So no one will ask for you for the simple HTML, CSS. So you have to actually grow with the industry. Currently, AIML is booming. Tomorrow, something new will come. But you are the one who have to upskill on the basis of that. So yeah.
All right. So by saying that, we will take two more questions. How contributions will be marked? So this is like a very good question. So the thing is like currently we decided like every PR will counts towards 1 point, and there are like different kind of difficulties: level 1, level 2, level 3. So based on these hard levels, we will distribute, for example, level 1 10 points, level 2 25 points, level 3 45 points. And these levels will be decided by the core team and the project admin. So they know much more about their repository. So level difficulty is determined by how hard is to implement it is. So I suggest, better than making 100 PRs, work on very high quality PR, and you get a 45 points. It's very equal to making a 45 pull request. So regarding the PR, I'm sharing the link so where you can find about the points. Sorry, this thing is still rolling out. Oh, sorry. You can find over this link where I updated the point distribution. Now, we have already discussed about how to select the project. All you need to do is like go to girl script website and select the project. You are happy to select any project which you like. So we will be having mentors for each assigned project. So we will assign mentor to you, and we will make the list public of the mentors and respective projects available tomorrow. So yeah, that's how it works. This question to you, Abhinav. So, any guidance for beginners for contributing to open source? Where and how to start? So, this he already addressed. Maybe you can just touch upon what you have spoke about it.
Right. So, yeah, Priya. So first of all, like, Girls is Summer of Code. That's a very first of all very great opportunity for you to start your open source contribution, right? So the very basic thing is, see, what is open source contribution? There are some projects. There are some open source projects that are open for everyone to contribute. You have to select a project of your interest, and you have to actually make some contribution, right? So see, for example, if you are participating in GSoC, go to the website of Girls System of Code, open that, search for the projects, check for a project which is relevant to you, open it, read the documentation, and then think, okay, how I can contribute to it, how I can open the prs, how I can actually come up with some issues, come up with some solutions, how I can come with some new features, and then contribute it, right? So there's no, there's no some expert knowledge of open source required for your first contribution. Everyone's first contribution is just maybe a 5 lines of code to have the simple feature, maybe just documentation, maybe some other non-tech thing can also be done, right? So the thing is, your first experience matters. If you will make your first contribution, it can be anything, but that will actually remove your fear of, okay, what is open source. So start with that, go to the site, search for the projects, get your relevant project, and start contributing, right?
All right. Now, there is one more question like how will GSOC program help us in getting better opportunities in multinational organization? And how can we improve our skills through this program? So this is the right question to you, Abhinav, because you said like you've been part of the GSOC program before. And by looking at your LinkedIn profile, I can see you've been part of LinkedIn Intern. So how was the journey to LinkedIn Intern? Before that, how many of you people want to know about his journey to LinkedIn? Can you type yes in the comment box? All right, you can answer the question now, Abhinav.
Yeah. So first, taking this question, I will talk about my journey also. So see, GSOC program like can help you in a lot of ways actually. As I mentioned before, also, if you're contributing to a, let's say, a project, first of all, the owner of that project, if they will love your contribution, if they will say, okay, it's a good contribution, they can directly contact you for some opportunity. Apart from that, you can add these contributions in your profile, in your in your resume, and then whenever there will be some resume shortlisting, whenever there will be interview, that thing is actually considered. Okay, that's the very first thing. Next, came about my interview experience or the how I got internship at LinkedIn. So I was in my second year, and I was just searching aggressively for internships. uh, I was like, "Ki, okay, where go internships here?" So because that time it was like second year was going to be end, and I was not having any such big opportunity. I was doing internship with Geeks for Geeks. That was for DSA mentor. I did some previous software engineering internships, some startups, but I was searching for some good companies, and I got a lot of rejections also. I got rejection from Amazon, I got rejection from Goldman Sachs, and from a lot of companies I got rejections also. It's not like Abhinav has a very smooth journey, no. After that, once I got a link about, okay, there is an opening at LinkedIn. It was again that I got through my connection only. So again, the connection comes in the role. So one of my friends sent me the link. Okay, Abhinav, this is an opening at LinkedIn. You can check that out, and it is relevant for you. I applied to the link. After that, I got a coding round mail. I participated in coding round. Now here comes role of my DSA skills. So there were two DSA questions at coding round, and I was able to solve them within the half. Like they were the time of 90 minutes given to us, and I was able to solve in 40 minutes. Because of that, I got an interview call. And also, so when I remember the coding round was on 1st of October. I still remember the date, and I was very happy because I solved both the problems in good time. But I didn't got any response from recruiter for next 50 days. Then I got a response uh, around like in the mid of November. I got response, okay, enough, you have qualified for the interviews, and now you have your two interviews lined up. Now the first interview was again a DSA round. It was a problem solving round where there was SD2 or a senior software engineer from LinkedIn who took that round. She asked me about, first there was a very basic question, a very basic lead code question of DSA. Okay, I was able to solve it. Second was actually a very hard problem of lead code. It was a problem of dynamic programming plus priority queue. It was a very hard problem. I was facing some difficulties, but she helped me with some hint and all, and I was able to solve that also. So my first round was also good. Now the second round comes into role. It was a managerial round. The second round was focused on my in general knowledge, my college like studies and all, and projects. So how, what projects I made there, my contribution to this open source, my in which hackathons we have participated, that also matters a lot. So that round, this my contributing to this open source came into picture, my projects came into picture, my hackathon participation came into picture. Okay, so then that second round was also good. There was a discussion about my projects, about my CP skills and all. And then finally after that, I got a call from the recruiter. Okay, you got an offer. So, and the internship experience was very good. LinkedIn has a very cool office, and the very best thing was LinkedIn is food. So they have a very amazing food there in the office, which is free, obviously. So yeah, these are some things. So that's some motivation for you guys. Do prepare for LinkedIn and these big companies, right?
Adding to that, I can see many people went to your profile and asking me questions in WhatsApp and over here. Like, can you just briefly explain about the ICPC journey you had and the process of you getting into SETA?
Right. So ICPC is actually a International Coding Olympiad, right? It's a programming contest actually that held. So I participated in that back in my second year again. So second, third year was like I was very aggressively participating in things, as I telling you guys also. So I participated in ICPC. ICPC is a like it's just like a coding contest that actually helps in three different stages. First, it is internal to your college happens. I first qualified that. Then it happens regionals. Regionals is basically where different colleges from a region participate. So I also qualified that round of ICPC. Next comes the finalist round. So because of some problem, actually the finalist round and my college exams were clashing with each other. I tried talking with my college, but they didn't allow me to go there. That is why I was not able to participate in finals of ICPC. That was my journey. ICPC is again, so this last December, I got to know about opening at this Zeta. Zeta is again off campus. So LinkedIn was also off campus. There was no involvement from my college. Zeta was also off campus. So I got a link of the coding round. Again, I participated in coding round. There were three questions, very hard question it has. Zeta is a company that aggressively hires some good problem solvers. They want your good CP skills and DSA skills. So I actually, started applying for that. Then there was a first round, which was actually a DSA round. I did that. Then there was then there was a CS fundamental round, and then next there was again a manager round where a senior manager comes from Zeta, take that round, and again discussion on my projects, open source, and hackathons was done there. This was my journey.
All right. That's a great journey, Abhinav. Even I was like inspired by it. So by saying that, I'm just taking screen from you for 2 minutes. So I just will address few questions which people has over here.
Sure.
So I can see a lot of questions are happening over here. The one question is um, this one: how to select a project? Is there any way applying forms or something? No. All you need to do is like go to this website over here, and yep, you can see 2024. Search by any domain. For example, if you want machine learning related, so search by machine learning. You can see a lot of projects over here. And when you go to project details, you have the repository link over here. Once you go to the repository, you can see which is issues over here which need to be solved. For example, this is as mentioned GSoC and updating an existing visualization. So you just go here. There will be a lot of details mentioned over here. If you are not clear with the details, just let the maintainers know. So for example, this is my repository. So if you want to work like this is the normal procedure, and there will be like a mentors for each project. So we will be sharing you the mentors list for each project over there, so you can reach out to them in the LinkedIn or something to ask some questions or help you with contribution. All right. Now the next question I can see. All right, just give me a minute. Regarding the point system working, so you can just see here. I have made a post over here, so you can just go into this particular discussion board, and of course we have opened a discussion board over here. So this is basically help you to ask any question to us by clicking on the new discussion, and oh sorry, it will help you to ask any question by clicking on new discussion and write your question title and question to us. So people from the community will answer to you, and for those people who are answering, you will get a GitHub badge called the Smart Brain badge. I forgot what was the thing is called. Oh, Galaxy Brain. So that's a badge which GitHub will give you by answering the questions which people ask in the community. So feel free to come over here and ask the questions. So that's the thing which I want to share you guys. I'm just stopping my screen right now and coming back to Abhinav. Thanks for that waiting. So we have fantastic audience over here and fantastic audience of aspiring developers and curious about GSoC. So is there any final piece of advice you would like to share with them? So by saying that, we will stop, put an end to this
Yeah.
session.
So, guys, so the only like advice I can give as the whole overview of what we discussed till now. See, there are those 4 or 5 points, and I will say if you will follow that, you will actually get do well in your in your college and overall in your life. Very first thing is be like make your interest to what you are doing. If you're doing coding, don't just do coding, don't just do contributions just for the sake, "Yeah, I want good job." Do that because there should be some interest, there should be some motivation behind that, right? Try to make interest, because see, let's say for I see I'm currently in this life. After half an hour, I have one more meeting regarding my project. Before that, I was having a meeting. So you can see, right, why I'm doing that, why I was, there was no reason. So the reason was my motivation, my interest in this thing. I wanted to actually contribute to community. I actually wanted to connect with people. That is why I'm here. So make your motivation, make your interest first of all. That's the very first thing. Next thing comes is be consistent, be regular. It can be anything. You guys asked me about my LinkedIn and Zeta, how I get into it. The only reason was I was very consistent with DSA and open source and projects and my CP profile. I was regularly participating in CP contests. I was regularly solving problems. I was regularly, you open source contribution I was doing. I was very active. So be active in these things. Be active on LinkedIn. Make networks. Be consistent, make your interest and make some motivation to do these things. Okay, so that's my final advice to you all. And yeah, you guys can like always open to connect with me. I actually don't accept a lot of connection. I have a more than 9,000 connection requests, but if you will just add a note with GSoC or Girls Summer Code, I will accept everyone's connection out here. Just send me your connection request and add a GSoC note there. I will accept your connection and let's connect. Yeah, that's on my side.
All right. So I'm sharing Abhinav's LinkedIn again over here to you to follow. So by saying that, um, I just want to ask you a question to the viewers over here. How many of you think today's session was really good? So personally, I've been with the live session with a lot of speakers, but I would say Abhinav was one of the best I have been with, because as a when you look in a very beginner perspective, it's really amazing. So I would like to show Abhinav how the visitors think. So can you comment, all the people who are watching right now, can you comment it down in the comment box? So uh, it would be really helpful for to let Abhinav knows, okay, how helpful was for you hosting a session like this. All right. So I really mean it, Abhinav. Like I've been with a lot of people, but it was like amazing session in perspective of a beginner when you look at it. So I hope this will definitely. I'm going to share with my personal profiles as well about this meetup, so people can get used to it. All right.
Yeah. Thanks a
So by
lot. Thanks
saying
a lot.
that, I know this session was only for 45 minutes, so we are past 58 minutes. And thank you for taking your precious time out of your pocket and being with us in GSoC. And we are always happy being part of GSoC. And thank you, Abhinav. So
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks a
I can
lot.
see the
Thanks a lot
people
for
are,
inviting me.
the comments are coming
Yeah,
up. So yeah, it
yeah.
was really valuable session, as I mean it.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thanks a
you,
lot,
Abhinav.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.